Hello, dear viewers. Today's story is about Day, a man who quietly sacrifices everything for the health and safety of Huyen and little Maya. With winter approaching, he pours all his heart and strength into building a solid stone house for the mother and child. Even after suffering a minor accident during the foundation work, Day remains strong and determined to continue, hoping only that Huyen and Maya can have a warm and peaceful winter. His perseverance deeply touches their hearts, creating a moving story about humanity, sacrifice, and gratitude. If you enjoy heartfelt, emotional, and meaningful real-life stories like this, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and share to support us. Your support is our greatest motivation to bring you more inspiring stories. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope this story brings warmth to your heart. Because he was constantly worried about the health and well-being of Huyen and little Maya, Day poured all his heart, strength, and determination into building a solid stone house for the two of them before winter arrived. The cold season in the mountains was always harsh, with freezing winds, heavy frost, and nights that seemed endless, and Day knew all too well how dangerous it could be for a young child and a woman with a fragile body. To him, this stone house was not simply a shelter made of rocks and mortar, it was a promise of safety, warmth, and stability. Every decision he made, from choosing the thickest stones to carefully planning the structure, was driven by one simple wish: that Huyen and Maya would not have to suffer from the biting cold or constant fear of illness when winter came. The project had now reached the most important stage, laying the foundation. From early morning, when the mist still covered the land and the air was sharp with cold, Day was already at the construction site. His hands were rough and cracked from long days of labor, yet he worked with steady focus and quiet patience. He dug deep into the earth, reinforced the base with stones, and mixed cement with practiced movements, each action reflecting the experience he had gained over years of hard work. Sweat rolled down his face even in the cold weather, soaking into his clothes, but he never slowed down. In his mind, every hour counted, because winter would not wait for anyone. As he worked, Day often paused to look toward the small wooden house where Huyen and Maya were staying. The image of Maya playing quietly by her mother's side gave him renewed strength whenever his body felt exhausted. He imagined the future, a sturdy stone house standing firmly against snowstorms, thick walls keeping the warmth inside, and a roof strong enough to protect them from heavy rain and wind. That vision pushed him forward, reminding him why every ache in his muscles was worth enduring. For Day, this foundation symbolized more than the beginning of a building. It represented the beginning of a safer life for the people he cared about most. Each stone placed into the ground carried his silent love, responsibility, and hope. Though the work was heavy and the days were long, his heart remained resolute. He believed that once the foundation was completed, everything else would follow, and the stone house would soon rise from the earth, strong, reliable, and warm, just like the protection he wanted to give to Huyen and Maya. Just as the construction was moving forward and the foundation work was nearly complete, an unexpected accident occurred and threatened to slow everything down. It happened on an ordinary workday when Day was lifting a heavy stone into position. The ground beneath his feet was uneven, still loose from digging, and in a brief moment of carelessness, he lost his balance. He fell hard, the stone slipping from his hands and crashing to the ground beside him. A sharp pain shot through his body, forcing him to stop and sit in silence for several long minutes, struggling to catch his breath. For the first time since the project began, fear crept into his thoughts. Not fear for himself, but fear that he might not be able to finish the house in time. Fortunately, the injury was not as serious as it could have been. After being checked and treated, it was clear that Day had only suffered minor injuries and bruises. His body was sore, and every movement reminded him of the accident, but he was grateful that no bones were broken and that he could still walk and use his hands. Even so, those around him advised him to rest longer and avoid heavy work for a while. Winter was drawing closer, and any delay could mean exposing Huyen and Maya to the cold. That thought alone made rest feel like a luxury he could not afford. After only a short period of recovery, Day returned to the construction site, moving more slowly and carefully than before. He adjusted his working rhythm, lifting stones with greater caution and paying closer attention to every step he took. Pain followed him throughout the day, especially when he bent down or carried heavy materials, but he endured it quietly. His determination was stronger than his discomfort. In his mind, the image of Huyen wrapping Maya in blankets to keep her warm became a powerful motivation, reminding him why he had started this project in the first place. Despite the accident, Day refused to let the schedule fall behind. He worked longer hours whenever possible, taking brief breaks only when his body demanded it. Each evening, exhaustion weighed heavily on him, yet there was also a sense of satisfaction. Another section of the foundation completed, another step closer to finishing the house. The accident had tested his physical limits, but it had also revealed the depth of his commitment. For Day, completing the stone house was not just a task to be finished. It was a responsibility he was willing to endure pain for, as long as it meant securing warmth and safety for Huyen and little Maya before winter arrived. As the days passed and the stone house slowly took shape, Huyen and little Maya could no longer ignore the sacrifices Dee was making for them. From the window of their temporary shelter, Huyen often watched him working tirelessly, even after his accident, his movements slightly slower but no less determined. Every swing of his arms, every stone carefully set into place, carried a quiet persistence that deeply touched her heart. She understood that the pain he endured was real, yet he never complained, never showed weakness in front of them. Instead, he focused only on finishing the house, as if nothing mattered more. For Maya, Dee's presence brought a sense of safety she could not fully put into words. Though still young, she sensed that the stone house rising from the ground was something important, something built just for her and her mother. Sometimes she stood beside Huyen, watching Dee from afar, her small hands clutching the edge of her coat to keep warm. In her innocent eyes, Dee was strong and dependable, someone who worked through exhaustion and pain without hesitation. Even without understanding the full story, Maya felt grateful in her own quiet way, responding with shy smiles and soft laughter whenever Dee looked back at her. Huyen's gratitude grew stronger with each passing day. She knew that Dee owed them nothing, yet he gave everything he had, his strength, his time, and even his health, to ensure they would be safe during the coming winter. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains and the cold air settled in, Huyen finally found the courage to speak her feelings. She thanked Dee sincerely, her voice trembling with emotion, telling him how much his efforts meant to her and Maya. Dee only smiled gently, brushing off her words as if they were unnecessary, but in his eyes there was a quiet warmth that revealed how deeply he cared. The stone house became more than a structure of rock and cement. It became a symbol of kindness, resilience, and selfless love. For Huyen and Maya, it represented hope for a warmer winter, a safer life, and a future built on trust and gratitude. Every finished wall and every completed corner strengthened their appreciation for Dee's devotion. They knew that once the house was complete and they could finally move in, it would stand as a lasting reminder of the man who refused to give up, even when faced with pain and hardship. In their hearts, Huyen and Maya would always remember the warmth not only of the stone walls, but of Dee's unwavering compassion and sacrifice.
Hello everyone. I'm ông L, Live Single RV. I wish you have a wonderful new day. Xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Live Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện ngày hôm nay của chúng ta thì đã kể về việc Đệ trong quá trình xây dựng căn nhà rất là độc đáo cho Huyền và May A tránh rét vào mùa đông, đó là căn nhà làm những viên đá độc lạ. Thì trong quá trình xây dựng Đệ đã không may bị thương ở tay. Điều đó làm cho Huyền thấy rất là xót xa và thương anh thật là nhiều. Nhưng Đệ cảm thấy những cái vấn đề vết thương nhỏ như thế này không có gì là đáng lo ngại. Anh vẫn có thể tiếp tục công việc là xây dựng căn nhà bằng đá cho Huyền và Đệ và May A đúng theo kế hoạch. Và căn nhà bằng đá của Huyền và Mai A và Đệ đã sắp hình thành. Đó là một căn nhà rất là đẹp đẽ và chứa đựng rất là nhiều tình yêu thương của Huyền và Đệ ở trong đó. Và điều đặc biệt hơn đó chính là căn nhà này thì nó có thể giúp cho Huyền và Đệ có thể tránh được cơn bão rét mùa đông sắp tới, sắp tràn về khu vực của Huyền. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn của câu chuyện Huyền, Mai A và Đệ cũng như cuộc sống của họ sẽ còn được kể các video tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV vào lúc 16 giờ Việt Nam nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào ngày mai. Bye bye.